Just assessing what happened here after the rain. Looks as though the tarp is doing its job. I ran out here Friday night to prop the one tip that is touching the ground, even though it is fully fiberglass, so it should be waterproof. Still have raw wood going on the top of the trailer, which needs to be dealt with, but this is what it's looking, and I don't want to put up the second canopy again because, number one, I have to stop and fix the hole I tore into it. But also, I think it's going to be easier because this dragon half end is too big for the canopy. I think I need to leave it down once I start assembling it. Trying to take down a canopy while tripping over the piece itself, I don't want damage to happen. So, yeah. Hello and welcome to Clay to Canopy, the show where I attempt to make just about everything from the ground up. And welcome to week 12. Now, everything looks like a bomb went off in here. I need to get on with some tidying first off, and I was just assessing the situation out there because we had some rain happen. Today is Sunday, October 16th. I had yesterday off, so I thought it best to hang in the house, take a little bit of a chill day, and I spent some time, what I thought was going to be me cutting out the head because I have yet to do the templates for the dragon head, but I ended up realizing I never made the cut files for the dragon head, so I had to go back and spend pretty much most of the day cleaning up files so that they're ready to go to cut the templates. I have not cut all of them, plus it was raining and the dragon model is out here. I didn't want to run out here in the rain and be moving a paper model into the house. The chalk would have gotten wet, the numbers would have been a whole nother thing that I was not getting into. Anyhow, my body is feeling a bit burnt. This week I really thought I needed a rest week. However, given that the injury happened because I was taking a rest week and my body got too stiff, I'm gonna call it a light week. A light week where I do a little bit of activity to keep my body moving around, but I'm not in full crank mode. At least I'm gonna say that right in this moment. That probably will change as I start to wake up and I get more energy for the rest of the day because the rain, I think, is starting early. We normally don't get rain season until December, maybe end of November. I am mid-October. It's freaking me out. I thought I had more time to get the dragon onto the top of that trailer and it be watertight. I'm feeling the pressure of it not being under there, not being watertight. The fact that once the dragon goes on, the canopy will be too low. I don't feel comfortable raising the canopy any higher because of the winds we get here. The only solution is to keep the thing covered under a tarp each time, which would be incredibly difficult for me to get up and under there to cover the thing because it's going to be really high. Or to get the dang thing watertight as soon as possible before the rainy season starts. I'm gonna try and bust out this window, the window frame today. That needs to get done. Damp or not, I'm gonna route the edges and then get the stain at least on. In this weather, it should still cure, but it's just gonna take a little bit longer. So at least I will feel like satisfied that something happened. First up, I'm gonna clean off this workspace because it's a disaster and then get that thing up here so that I can route. I only have today and tomorrow as working days, so we're looking at 2 days. Anyhow, onward with week 12, the slow grind that it's gonna be. Alright, I got this sanded to where I want it and I realized I don't have a router bit. The router bit I need to take care of this, and it is going to be one I'm gonna have to go do. It will be a half-hour drive there. I'm gonna try and get it done quickly so that I can come back and have time to route this. As you can see, the babies are out. The rain has thankfully washed away epoxy resin and the fiberglass crap. I have been hosing down the area that the kids play in. From time to time, you may see sawdust on the ground. I just want to clarify, I pretty much only use domestic woods now. I used to use a lot of exotic woods back in the day. The sawdust, when it is domestic sawdust, it is sold as bedding. It's actually sold as litter, so I feel very comfortable letting my babies out here when I am doing straight up woodworking and there's sawdust around. They are shop cats. What is toxic is tiny fine fibers breathed in for long periods of time. You can get brown lung. Of course, if working in like a factory with no ventilation and constantly like going and going. But you know, as I've said many times, behind that camera is a giant garage door that's large and open. So I will always work with plenty of ventilation. At one time I did have overhead ventilation by other space, but it's kind of not necessary in this space because this is such a small garage. A good quarter of it is all open. So yeah, if you see the babies out and you may see dust on the ground, rest assured it is going to be plain old sawdust Nothing that is mixed with epoxy or fiberglass. I am gonna go on that run so I can get this router bit. Wish me luck. Gonna go find a rockler, which I have not done in this area. I prefer rockler over woodcraft, and this is probably total just propaganda, but I love the fact that the CEO is a woman, and it is Joanne Rockler, who she inherited the business from her father. And I appreciate the fact that there's a female woodworker. Gonna get those females out there and into the woodworking field. Alright y'all, back from my run and the clouds rolled in. It's kind of got this perfect fall feel out there between the rain that we had and these clouds rolling in. And all I want to do right now is curl up and watch some witchy something and just chill out. Maybe put together this dragon that I totally had no choice but to buy while I was there. Yeah, because I couldn't resist. And that's all I want to do right now. I don't want to do this, but I must. I found the bit. It was not cheap at all. There was a cheaper version, but I don't trust the brand. I've had some issues in the past where router bits have flew out of because the shank was not milled properly. It slipped out of the router. It was a Home Depot brand. I'm not going to name the brand. This is why I try to avoid buying bits from there at all costs. It is why I drove a half an hour to get this bit, half hour each way. I trust this brand, and that's just the way it is. It was about $61-ish. I bought the adjustable rabbet bit. They sold them individually for about $30 per size. This one, it goes from an eighth up to a half. I'm gonna get to work setting this up. I want to make sure that I fully focus and concentrate on the setup and the testing. So I'm gonna throw headphones on to do this part of the job. Router is one of the hand tools that when you are working with it, you really need to be totally focused. And if you're not taking all the right safety precautions, it can become quite a big issue. So that being said, I'm gonna remind you that you should not woodwork and try any of these techniques at home if you are not trained. Please do not attempt to do the things that happen in this shop without proper training. If you are one of my students, come hunt me down. I will show you any of the techniques you see here that you might be interested in. There ain't no stain going on this anytime soon. I'm going to finish the routing bits of this, see what I can get done with the chiseling part, but tomorrow might just be me taking on some chiseling out those corners, and then maybe tomorrow I can throw a coat of stain on. I am insanely exophrased today. It is October 17th. It is Monday. And yeah, today this channel has officially been monetized. I don't even know what to say. Exophrase. I'm super excited. I had a plan for today, and that plan all went to hell. I did have a thought last night. Exophrase. I'm so frazzled. I'm so excited that I'm frazzled, and I can't even think straight. Before I get on to what's gonna happen today, I just want to give you a big heartfelt thank you, because I would not have gotten here without you. It has been quite the journey. It's been 2 years, 9 months-ish of releasing videos, but this birth of this channel started way before that, probably about 4 years now, because I was filming a good year in advance before I started even releasing content. So, yeah, it's been one crazy ride. It's one exciting crazy ride. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to the future of what this channel means. I don't know, it's like this moment of validation in a sense. This marker, this is important. This is like me finally saying, okay, yes, this channel is real. It's not me just out here messing around in the garage as a hobby. It's going into a phase where I really have the opportunity to make something of it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support, for every view. It's insanely appreciated. Alright, back to business, right? I still got a dragon to build, even though I am extra-fraz. I cut this in thought, leaving room for the glass, but then I forgot that I didn't check it with the rubber, right? I ordered this rubber that's supposed to go around this, and then I never checked for the thickness of the rubber, what that would be with the glass. And as I'm looking at this, that rubber is not going to sit there with the freaking glass. So, what this means is I gotta take this down a little bit more. I'm gonna hit it again with the router all around, which inevitably means I probably will need to go back and re-chop all of those corners. That being said, I now know what I'm dressing for. So I've got my PJs on, PJ bottoms. You can't see them because I'm behind the table. But now I know what to change for. Before I start throwing on the oil onto this, I decided I probably should make one more template of the larger openings of glass. This way I know exactly where I need to cut. The first one I did was a template of where all the circles were, where they landed, but that was only of the negative space on the inside, and unfortunately I brought that template to campus with me because I've been using it to make the molds. I'm just gonna go ahead and do another piece of plastic with the larger openings because that will be the full sheet of glass that needs to be cut. I am feeling pretty exhausted. Really want to like sleep for a week, but I can't because life happens and I'm working and I'm trying to get this done, as much done as I can with the rainy season coming and editing and everything else. So yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. So last night after I finished in here, I went inside and printed out the first two patterns because the dragon head, I cut it out on the Cricut and then realized that they are so tiny that if I did a little bit more jiggering with my patterns, I could actually print full-size patterns for the head. If I can print full-size patterns, then I do not have to worry about measurements and upscaling a lot of measurement. All I have to do is smack the template on, trace it out, and cut the wood. It's gonna save a heck of a lot of time, even though up front right now, it feels like it's gonna take a little bit longer to go in and adjust the patterns. So I've been spending my nights doing that. I think I'm pretty close. I'd like to start maybe printing those headpieces that I can go ahead and start cutting apart. You know what I mean. It is Wednesday. Oh, hiya. I didn't even notice little Cleo sitting there. Hiya, little Cleo. I'm gonna go say hi to Cleo. Y'all never get to see Cleo. And here comes Sly. Hi, little Lulu. Yeah, enjoying the sunshine. Hi. Just thought I'd say good morning. We need to get that collar back on you with your belt. Y'all want to know why she's named Cleo? It's because she was a cat who showed up in the backyard one day and she used to walk the wall. This wall. The neighboring wall. That wall. She used to walk that wall back and forth and lord over all of the other random strays that showed up. We actually had a couple strays that would come, and also my own. So she would pace back and forth along the wall. What you doing? You're watching Sly, huh? Sly's over there. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. Like a queen bee, she would just pace back and forth and yell at all the cats. Anyhow, that's Miss Cleo, and she is giving the stare down to Sly over there. Hey, little buddy man. Sly is a total stray. He does not let us get anywhere near him. Anyhow, that was a nice start to the Wednesday morning. I meant to get out here yesterday and try and throw a coat on the opposite side of this. We went from 70 degrees to 90s, mid 90s yesterday. So that didn't happen. I stayed inside and caught up on editing, and I spent 6 hours editing. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and get the other side done. Today is another one of those days where I have to take care of other errands. I have some appointments today, so I only have a small amount of time to get this done. One of the things I have realized when I'm looking at this, the grain is here, but it's not that strong. So after I flip this over and do the opposite side, I'm going to take a scrap piece and also throw some stain on it because I have an idea. I think I might want to do a bit of a sand through to pull some of this grain up. I'll need to have a tester before I do that because I don't want to mess with it if it's not going to look good. I am not going to be glassing this piece. I am only going to apply epoxy to let it harden, and the hardened epoxy should strengthen this. I got the opposite side coated. This needs to set. I'm gonna go ahead and call this video here. I will start fresh hopefully Saturday. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Stick around to watch me not get attacked by mosquitoes and this project all unfold. And remember, don't wake the dragon.